Hello and welcome to your evening news with me, Jack Bottomley.
And me, Mannat, Chadail. In today's headlines, using your phone while driving is becoming the norm. Police scan CCTV footage to find the gang who assaulted a teenage boy in Bulwell. And democracy in the spotlight as America goes to polls to elect a new president. Whilst there, the UK Brexit row rumbles on.
Police are tracking down a group of youths after a brutal attack that took place in Bulwell this week. It has left a 17-year-old boy with serious injuries, and now Nottinghamshire police are appealing for witnesses to come forward after CCTV footage has failed to provide evidence. CBJ's Josh Wing reports.
A teenage boy has had to face an ordeal no 17-year-old should have to face. 2 nights in hospital, a broken arm and a severe head injury. On a night most were celebrating Halloween, this boy was facing the cold and bitter night in a hospital bed. And the attack took place right here on Cairo Road here in Bulwell, outside this very food chain and metres away from the local primary school. The attack took place on the 31st of October, and whilst the motive is unclear, a group of teenagers was seen in the area at that time. Police are appealing for any witnesses to come forward and help with this case and help the boy in need. Josh Wing, CBJ News, Bulwell.
Road safety charities are calling for tougher laws to divert drivers using their mobile phones behind the wheel. This comes after an increase in people breaking the law.
We've all been taught about safety first, before moving off and driving on the roads. But more and more of us are reaching for mobile phones while behind the wheel, despite the dangers involved. Some believe more needs to be done to deter dangerous driving.
So I think the police can be more vigilant in catching people. You only have to look at the newspapers to see how many people flaunt the law and don't face any punishment for it. We have cameras to catch speeders, for instance. Why can't we develop some sort of comparable system to catch people using mobile phones behind the wheel? The distinction between the motoring, the offences for driving a car and using a mobile phone behind the wheel are so that points can be placed on licences, and licences can be endorsed and then eventually taken away if need be. You don't need a licence to ride a bike, so I don't think it's possible to make the same sort of laws.
Thousands of drivers continue to use their phones regardless of the safety of others.
I was taking bikes to a school for bikeability, and I just pulled up and I had this driver doing a 3-point turn in the entrance of a school while on a mobile phone. When I pointed out the error of her way, she actually turned around and said, "I'm only turning round." And she's turning around in a school entrance with children. And people just don't think about it. We have a huge problem.
I think it's when people get like overconfident with driving. They think that, okay, well, like, because I'm so used to driving all the time, that maybe if I just get my phone out of the lights or something like that, it's gonna be okay. But like, I mean, I can, like, whenever I try to drive, I can barely sort of like talk and like grab the wheel at the same time.
I think people just get overconfident. They think they're better drivers than they actually are, so they're just like, oh, you know, I can play Candy Crush while driving. It's no biggie.
So I know a couple of people who, when they drive, they frequently use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They Snapchat themselves driving. I mean, sometimes I just feel so unsafe in some cars.
Road safety campaigners say tougher penalties are now needed to stop those still intent on breaking the law. Medina Wakenge for CBJ News.
With the upcoming US presidential election just days away, both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are fighting to persuade the last few undecided voters to vote for them as president. We asked the people of Nottingham what they thought of the presidential election.
I just think Hillary should be the one to get in from what I've seen and heard. As Obama's already done so much good for the country, I think that a vote for Hillary would be a step forward into carry on the great work and make America a better country than it already is.
Either Donald Trump or Hillary, and both of them are rubbish candidates. And if I was to choose one, it'd probably be Donald Trump, just because he's so outlandish.
I think it's hugely disappointing that a population of 250 million people can come up with 2 such disappointing candidates.
Many people see both candidates as unfit for the role and they're uncertain about America's future. Comparisons have been drawn to Britain and Brexit as the result. UK will be watching the results closer.
Prime Minister Theresa May is attempting to regain control of Brexit after the High Court ruled she needs the support of MPs before starting negotiations to leave the EU. Theresa May will speak to European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker to reassure him she still intends to begin Article 50 by the end of March.
Hair Salon is helping the homeless across the Nottingham by opening doors to people living in streets one day every month. The initiative by students, barbers and beauticians for New College Nottingham has been welcomed by homeless charities, and Charlie Richardson reports.
A warm and welcoming salon for clients who are in need of more than just a makeover. Student staff here at Salon Central in Nottingham are using their skills to give much needed attention to people living on the streets. And the initiative, inspired by homeless charity Emmanuel House, is proving a lifesaver.
We always look forward to Terry coming in because he can do all the styles, and basically I just have my cut all off when I do it. But yeah, it's nice because I know I can get an haircut here in Emmanuel House.
It first started at Emmanuel House, where volunteer Terry, who is 90 years young, has been providing free grooming for more than 40 years.
He's been here since the start and he's recorded over there by 40 years of the service that's been in Emmanuel House. So all that service, right, really needs appreciating, and I do appreciate it.
Every week I do zero, I just leave it in the top. But because my hair is so thick, even barbers struggling to cut my hair as well in a week.
Between the beginning of April and end of June this year, 15,170 households were declared statutory homeless. With the number of homeless people being the highest it's been in 18 years, students also wanted to do their bit to help out.
Because obviously, I mean, with the charities that we do, obviously it's great on our part to give something to the community, but it's helping us out because obviously we need models and everything like that, so it works both ways, so it's really nice to help each other out.
Nottingham charity Emmanuel House, which opens its doors to the homeless and vulnerable 365 days a year, knows that something as simple as a haircut can make the world of a difference.
The time of year has come back around again to stop shaving in order to raise money and awareness for the Movember Foundation. The charity that has been running since 2003 is now a huge worldwide support for men's health.
Market Square in Nottingham to find out what the people of Nottingham think about growing a moustache to raise money for charity.
I think any idea or any way of raising money for such a fantastic cause is a good idea, and I don't care how stupid people look.
Will you be doing this yourself?
Unfortunately not. As you see, I've got a slight overgrown beard, which I'm going to have trimmed at a barber's in about 5 minutes.
I think it's a great way of raising awareness.
It's a good idea, again, making awareness. Myself, I didn't know about it, but for next year, obviously I will, and I'll start growing a moustache in November.
Cafes across Nottingham have been celebrating National Sandwich Day. Whether it's a meal at Tesco's or a traditional packed lunch, everybody loves a sandwich. Throughout the city centre, there are loads of different outlets for sandwiches. Sandwich lovers, the shops hope that this event would spike their business. Some posting on Facebook and advertising specific sandwiches to try to draw customers, but some have never heard of it.
Remember, the 5th of November. Yeah, that's right, it's bonfire night this weekend, and there's plenty going on around Nottingham.
Nottingham Castle is holding an event tonight with performers, barbecues, fireworks and displays. Tomorrow, head down to Forest Recreation Ground for the annual free firework extravagant with hosts, and bring your family as well. Let us know what your bonfire night plans out this weekend by tweeting us on CBJ News.
The FA Cup commences this weekend with Notts County travelling to conference side Boreham Wood. County aim to avoid an upset and secure their place in the second round, with boss John Sheridan confident there will be no upset. Sheridan is eager to avoid an upset after the club bowed out of the competition last year to non-league side Salford City. Local rivals Forest host QPR in a must-win game for the Reds. Forest go into the game following a 2-0 defeat to Reading and sit just 1 point below the drop zone.
Nottingham Panthers are looking to end the poor run of forms this weekend when they travel to Manchester Storm on Saturday. Despite losing their last 3 matches, the Panthers still sit second in the table.
And now for the weather. It will be partly cloudy across Nottingham with highs of 7 degrees Celsius and lows of 4 degrees. Tomorrow will be a chilly start to the day at 60 degrees Celsius, but the afternoon will be a bit warmer with some sunny spells and a high of 8 degrees.
That's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Jack Bottomley.
And I'm Mannat.
Good night.
Have a good night.